we are back once again for the month of March with a new episode just for you. How you doing, Priyanka? How's life in Germany, yeah?
Oh, now you want me to do forecasting? I'm living, thriving. This is what we are hoping for.
Yes. I mean, hopefully by now the winter would have passed and spring shall be born. Or is it in April?
So you're right.
Yeah, right? Okay, so hopefully Priyanka is having a much better time with the spring season flowing in. But let's go back to Sit Still Look Pretty.
Meanwhile, on the summer side, sunny side of Singapore.
Yeah, I'm sweating. So this episode, it's all about honing self-expression.
That's right. When we say self-expression, basically a way of expressing a piece of your soul, an identity that continues to stick with you all the way, but you're able to use this as a tool to basically bring out the essence of yourself. But when we say honing self-expression, it means it becomes something that is a lot more stable. For some people, this might mean that your self-expression now becomes your iron rice bowl. You know,
That's the goal.
Yeah, I feel like that's the goal for like so many of us, right? But for some people also, honing self-expression can basically just be the fact of like discovering this ability to express yourself and sticking to that ability for the rest of your life. So now comes the juicy part, whereby honing self-expression, we felt like it was an important topic for us to talk about because I think it was a journey of discovery for the both of us, if I may say so, to find out what is something that, distinguishes the both of us in our own ways. Like, Priyanka is known for her own stuff and Priya is known for her own stuff. And this is the reason why we also feel it's very important for our solo episodes, because we believe that there's something very unique that the both of us can bring to the table. For myself, I think it's quite crazy because I feel like it almost feels like I've known this since day zero. At the same time, it also feels like I just never knew this about myself. It really feels that way when I think about it, whereby my self-expression, today I'm so proud to own it and say that that's my self-expression. But I feel like prior to this, leading this up, there was like so much more to like what I can say now as my self-expression. My self-expression basically is writing. I don't think I'm an excellent writer. Thank you.
Continue.
This is why I have Priya next to me all the time. Just so that, she can help me go like, you're good, you're great, you're fantastic.
My job is actually just to be Priyanka's fangirl.
But I love to write. Like, writing is something that is like so close to my heart, because if you're close to me, this is something that you will always know. And this is a mark of like a mark of our friendship or our love, is you would have at least received one card from me in the years of knowing you. And that's how you will know that you are a remarkably special person in my life. Like, it has always been that way. And it has been that way since I was young. The first person who I wrote a card to is my mom.
Oh,
and she has a lot of cards that she keeps, the ones that I've written since like I was 7 years old.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So cute.
When Microsoft Word was a thing.
Oh, I mean, it's still a thing, Priyanka.
I mean, back then, when like that old school Microsoft Word, whereby we can even put like stickers. I don't know if people remember this, like stickers and stuff.
Like symbols, yeah. I remember.
And it's crazy how she still keeps it. But she has even showed me before, like me writing like Happy Mother's Day or like random love notes for her, But the thing about it is, I will write chunks, be it in card or even as stupid as it sounds, even on text message. How do you know that like I'm very invested in our conversation that I'm having with anyone? Is you'll receive a long chunk of message from me. That's how you know that A, I love you a lot. B, I'm probably fighting with you about something. C, I'm trying to get through a point to you. So my way, and I always feel like, to me, words are very, very important because of the fact that I'm not an extroverted person. So if you ask me to sit down and have like a conversation with someone whereby you're asking me to express myself fully till today, if I be really honest, I don't think I nail it as much as I feel like I do it in writing. I feel like in writing, I'm always able to tell someone how much they mean to me. That's how it started originally. I always enjoyed writing because I felt like it's a means of way to tell someone how much they mean to me. And then it progressed into things like at the age of, I think, 11 or 12, I started to try to write my own book. Like
There we go.
using colored papers.
Is this a future prediction
Oh my God.
that's being manifested at this
I
moment?
would really love to be Jane the Virgin in my life. The writing part, just to make it clear.
Oh, Bri, you're dropping some big bombs today, Priyanka.
But like, writing a book will be hallelujah.
Look at those vocals. Maybe a singer too on the side, yeah?
But like, jokes aside, so that was that. And then there was a period in my life whereby I thought, damn right sure Priyanka is going to be a journalist, because I used to write for the classified section in Straits Times back then. Used to have submissions whereby you can write a story.
Right.
Okay. And I remember I was so damn thrilled when they featured my story on like Straits Times Classified. The cool thing is they don't call you and tell you that like you are getting in or whatsoever. So I remember I picked up the newspaper every time, I'll flip to classified section to see whether did I get featured. And holy, that moment when I got featured, I was like, oh my gosh. And that was a secret. My trump card in entering Ngee Ann Polytechnic Mass Communication. Not me going for my early admission interview exercise and going like, I'm coming into mass communication because I want to become a journalist. Look at me now. Now in uni, I'm like, when people talk about like, oh, there's journal, I'm just like, no, don't even come near me. I thought that I wanted to become a journal student, and then we started to do news writing and feature writing in Ngee Ann Polytechnic. And that's when your girl realized that she's not going to do journal. She's not cut out for journal. It was not creative writing, it was factual writing. And factual writing and creative writing is two different things. That's when I learned that I enjoy creative writing, not factual writing. And since then, the path moved. So when I went for my internship back then, we were given opportunities to write, to conceptualize. And that's when I really, truly realized where my deep passion lies. I love to be able to creatively conceptualize and write. I've really enjoyed the process.
And she's so freaking good at it. I mean,
once again, this is why Priya is next to me.
Priyanka writes most of Sit Still Look Pretty's, like anything copyright related is written by her, and you can tell that she's damn good at what she does.
At this point, I'm just letting myself write all the things that I want to write about because people don't give opportunities. So I'm like, okay, Sit Still Look
shots fired.
Sit Still Look Pretty, shall we?
You better put that in the promo. But yeah, go on, darling. I mean, I'm just a big fan of your writing. I think I've truly fallen in love with the way that Priyanka writes.
And that's one thing that I just want to say I'm very thankful for, because whether or not I believed in myself, I really have to put this out on Sit Still Look Pretty. That one person in my life, she came in late into my life, that's Priya. But then one person in my life who came in late and all the damn time goes, you're so good at it, But I feel like that's where I think at the start I said, I know that this part of me is good. At the same time, I don't believe in it also. Because I feel like, and I think that this went out in the episode before, because when you start working, especially in the real world, writing then becomes like something that you start admiring a lot of people around you who have the ability to write. And then I always feel like, A, pressure. B, you start looking down on yourself. You start putting yourself up against other writers. And like, these are the moments that nowadays I look back and I realize that everybody's journey is different. You should never compare. And it was truly for me to say that this is my self-expression this year, that one thing that really changed me as a writer, oh, look at me.
Oh, look at you.
Was the fact of I have to say this, my uni, I'm so thankful for this class in my uni. Anybody in Wikimwi, if you love to write and if writing is something you want to explore, writing for TV and cinema is really a class that I strongly recommend anybody who loves writing to try or to go for. Because I feel like throughout, with so much of experiences that we have, I was never taught how to write. I never knew the rules that goes into writing. Nothing. I write based on what I feel is right, if anything at all. In 2022, I learned that there are rules to writing. There's a proper way to write. And also it was the year of 2022 was the year that I was really assured by a lot of people in my life that, Priyanka, you can write. I can still remember, that moment was so huge for me because of the fact that I always doubted that ability of mine to be able to write, to be able to tell a story. But I'm so thankful now to think back and know that something that I used to express myself can now be something that I actually turn it into honing my self-expression, whereby it becomes my rice bowl. So before I go into the honing part, let's ask Priya, my dear girl. I feel like time to time we have always dropped the fact that I love to write on Sit Still Look Pretty. But I'm pretty sure you all are curious to know what is Priya's self-expression here.
You're building a lot of pressure. But I think for me, I am somebody who just never shuts up. If you're really close to me, you'll know this about me. Every time we have a meeting, anytime we are looking to see each other for the day, if I'm sitting down and not saying anything, there's something wrong.
That's true. That one I agree.
So truly, this may sound very odd, but I truly believe that my self-expression is talking. Talking non-stop. I think my voice has served me very well over the years. But like you said, I think believing in your self-expression is an entire battle on its own. So basically, for those of you who don't know, I wasn't born in Singapore. I was born in India, but I was raised in Singapore. Ever since primary school, I've been here. And I remember primary one, first day going into school, and everybody asking me, can you speak English? And it was I felt suddenly so much of pressure because I didn't know how to speak it well, you guys. I was terrible at it. I was completely blur. I'm sure I could put together words and form a sentence, but I was pretty terrible because I didn't know how to speak it. I hadn't learned it. I didn't have to until this point in my life. And of course, being kids, they tend to be very critical of certain things that you're not able to do well. So there's a lot of bullying that came with that. You have an accent and or you sound really funny. You don't even know how to speak. Why are you here? And all this rubbish. And I remember I was so angry that I couldn't do, I wasn't angry at people for coming after me. I was angry because I thought something was wrong with me. I should be able to speak really well. That's what people do here. So I remember I went into a TV obsessed kid, and I would watch this was my English tutor, which is basically Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, and any channel that featured a drama series or an American TV show was my best friend. And I would read the subtitles and try to say all these dialogues with them. And I think I probably that's when my love for binging started, because it started with actually a traumatizing event.
Now I know.
Yeah, because I'm a huge binge watcher. That's my thing. But yeah, it started then, and I remember I was really watching and taking in so much of content, and everybody always asks me this question when we meet. It's Priya, why do you have this accent? And I think this is where it stems from, because that's the kind of content that I absorbed a lot. I never strayed towards Tamil content and stuff like that because I knew that I could speak it well and I was confident. English was my priority, right? I had to be. So I remember, I think by the time I reached primary 5, primary 6, oral examinations were my like gem. Like
Look at her flexing.
I aced them. The picture discussion, the story reading. Like I think I always got like I think it was a point 40, and I'd always get like 35 and above. I think I've gotten full marks. Sorry, humble brag moment, guys, because I worked really hard for it. So
I need to say at this point, all the PSLE kids and O-level kids, you all know who to find. And basically, you all need oral help.
No, I mean, I'm sure you guys can do well. Listen, I mean, I really worked hard for it.
And I have to cut Priya at this point because I want to testify what she's saying. Like, initially, before Priya and I became friends, I remember, like, this is one of the reasons why I always find Priya very intimidating back then when we were not friends. Because when Priya goes up to make a class presentation, I know for a fact that A is going to be damn bloody good. And B, the way she carries herself when she's talking is something that, like, wow, I always enjoyed watching it, and that's why you're extremely intimidating to me. Like, there are so many presentations of yours. Like, I can still remember where I was just sitting there, like, I was like, who is this girl? She bears half my name, and like, I hate her so much for nailing the presentation, because now I have to work more harder to get my A, you see? So it's always like, damn it, you know? But I have to say, Masscom, extremely good writers, extremely good people who can talk, and definitely Priya is one of them in my top of my head, who I remember as someone who really articulates what you want to say really well. I'm hoping that it appears on my birthday card soon. Thanks.
But nowadays, you know, Priyanka just takes every opportunity to roast me, as you can tell. But yeah, but I mean, but like you said, right? You find something that you enjoy doing so much, you find so much of comfort in, but then the moment you put it out to the public and you start receiving other people's opinions, you start to lose that confidence, that faith in your self-expression or your form of self-expression. And that's something that I think got butchered for a lot, which is like, oh, like, why do you sound like a wannabe American? Like, why do you have an accent? So now it's like, I was like, okay, you know, I finally mastered being able to speak English, but now I was like, oh, but like, do I sound funny? Like, do I sound like I'm putting on some fake accent because this is just how I talk? Like, oh, maybe I should like talk differently. There were so many things that I felt very insecure about. I'm sorry, like, this is just how I talk, right?
Do not be sorry for who you are.
That's right, I'm not sorry. But this is just how I talk, because, you know, I've parroted this content for so long. This is just what came out of that, you know, was a byproduct of that training that I went through by myself. I think the biggest breakthrough came for probably our final assignment for speech communications, which is like, I think like the only module that I think I aced without a problem. You see, so truly the only thing I can do well in life.
Self-expression.
But yeah, so, and for that, I remember our final presentation, we had to discuss, I think, about a topic that's very like close to us. And we did a presentation on sexual assault. We went all out for this presentation. Like, we coordinated our outfits, and I'm not saying we coordinated in terms of like, oh, we all wanted to be matchy. No, it was like all like with the directorial vision for the presentation. We had props. Our presentation, I mean, not to toot our own horns, was like amazing. And I think the point that we wanted to make was a very important point for all of us, and especially I think I felt very, very invested in that presentation. And I remember I went like all out. I walked out of that entire presentation feeling like, you did a good job, Priya. You did that. And I was like, oh, maybe I am pretty good at speaking. That was like the first time. And I think some of like my sweetest classmates and friends like came up to like share their compliments as well. And of course that always helps. But I think that's the first time that I felt like I did a good job. And then I met Priyanka and we decided to start Ilamai Espresso. Can I just say, I'm so grateful for that opportunity. One, I know that we discovered each other. we discovered a new form of content creation, and that was very thrilling. But more than anything, I think because I focused on prioritizing the English language for so long, I think I had kind of let myself down in terms of our mother tongue. We started Illamai Espresso, and I found my way back home almost to speaking in Tamil once again. Anyway, to cut a long story short, talking has always been my self-expression, and like how I think Priyanka has grown into her confidence in writing, I've grown into my confidence as a speaker. And if you do find me not speaking in a situation in public, you're like, hey, you didn't speak. That's probably because one, I'm very uncomfortable. Two, I do not feel like it's a safe environment to express myself. And three, probably very tired lah. Just like having a long day.
But rest assured that between Priya and Priyanka, the one that is very much more sociable will have a better conversation with you. It has always been Priya.
Just solely because I don't know when to stop talking, I think people will socially distance away from me more than me so them.
No matter what self-expression you have for yourself, if I may say so, you will never truly be able to A, find it, B, believe in it, C, try to even hone it if you don't even have the confidence that you own it.
And I also do want to point out, believing is probably your first step towards anything. But I also feel like practice grows confidence like nothing else. Because if it was, for me, it was being able to speak English really well. And that meant I was, taking in content, probably like every day, like I would watch like 4 to 5 shows, and I'm, taking in so much of content every day. And if Priyanka, she's a writer, but the amount of books that she reads, the type of books that she reads, I don't know how her closet is filled, there's space for clothes, I feel like they should all just be filled with books at this point. I don't know where she stores it, because it's anywhere she goes, she buys like 5 books and comes back, you guys. Anywhere she goes, she brings a book with her. It's all of these things. But you see, all these things are important because being able to be confident in your skill grows the more you practice on that skill, the more you try to grow on that ability. So it's about reading and seeing how other writers write. It's about learning different type of styles. It's about going to school and taking courses about writing. It's about participating, taking speech communication, participating in presentations, working hard for my presentations. It's about doing a podcast and practicing for every single episode. I feel like that also plays a big part in being able to say, you know what, I think I could do this pretty well, because there's no way that, if you're doing so much of one thing, that you're going to remain at the same level in terms of skill throughout. Like, you can only go up. So practice. And even if it doesn't bring perfection, it will bring confidence.
Enough of us and our stories. I think you guys should hear it from our special guest speaker for this month episode. How she has honed her self-expression into something that is so, 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 so beautiful, if I may say so.
Truly is. We have a very special guest with us, and it's none other than Miss Malini. But before I welcome her into the Sit Still Look Pretty set, let me just give you a little bit of info on exactly who she is, if you're wondering. Based in Singapore, Malini is a Malaysian artist specializing in contemporary art and custom artwork. She has been painting from a very early age. However, her passion for traveling and backpacking has shaped her creativity over the years. With a bachelor's degree in psychology and a full-time job, she dedicates most of her time to painting. She takes great pride in creating every piece of art, and she does so with passion and finesse. Hello, Malini.
Hello, Priya and Priyanka. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here with us.
It's a pleasure.
This month's episode discusses the topic honing self-expression. The topic shines light on the importance of an individual to discover the art of self-expression in order to live a life that is fulfilling to the mind, body, and soul. With regards to that, how do you think your craft, in this case art, has allowed you to hone self-expression for yourself?
I believe that, like all of us, we express ourselves in many different ways. So for me, it's art. And as artists, we are seen as makers. But to be honest, we are thinkers too. And we feel very deeply. So it's the thinking and feeling. It spurs the making, and then that's how we create art. So for me, I choose to create art that's really close to my heart. So I started off with wildlife paintings because I love animals.
We're waiting for you to get your fur baby.
I know. That's my goal, my life goal. So yeah, and then from there, right now I'm working on a series of strong, independent women. I started in June, so I still have a few more paintings to go. Since young, I've always seen all these strong women around me, so I knew that I should paint someday. There's this quote that I need to share. It's about sisterhood, where they said that Quentin's sister hides beneath the hood, as in sisterhood. She's afraid that my light will diminish hers, even though the sky has got a lot of room for everyone to shine together. And that speaks a lot to me because I feel like as women, we should be supporting each other. For example, today I'm here. It's because of Lavanya. Like, I didn't even know that she mentioned me. And I was like, see, I'm here now. And she's one of like a woman who is empowering. I'm really glad that I can express myself through painting.
When did you start to get interested in art?
It all started when I was 11 years old. I just sketched and I showed my mom. And she looked at it. She was like, do you want to go for art class? And I was like, yes, I want. Like,
she took the hint.
Yeah, and she was like, and from then, because my mom likes to sketch, but like, you know, just basic stuff, but she's very creative. My sister is too. I started going for art lessons when I was 10, 11, 12, and then 16, 17, and 18 was when I learned oil paintings. Yeah, that taught me a lot. Actually, I did take a 7-year break. Like, I did not touch any paintbrush for 7 years. And then I went to the Museum of Modern Art in New York. I saw this one painting from this Italian artist called Gino Severini. And I was like, the painting was mind-blowing. And I was like, I'm going to go home and I'm going to paint that exact painting. It's still work in progress. I think it's sitting at home for 5 years. So yeah, but yeah, I went home, I bought a canvas and I started painting again.
Now, you do contemporary art as well as custom pieces. And you said you draw inspiration through your real life or things that you hold close to your heart. But is there a certain incident that began a certain art?
When I went backpacking. So the last was in 2016. I've got one of my painting which is called The Little Bedouin. That painting was actually when I went to Jordan. I was in Petra. So I was walking up, hiking up to the monastery. And then this little girl, she came in, she joined me for about 30 minutes all by herself. And she started talking in her their Bedouin Arabic language.
Okay.
And I was like, what is she talking? She was just going on and on for 30 minutes. She just followed me all the way up. She was so cute. And I saw like she was so passionate. I really don't know what she was talking about. So I recorded it. And then when halfway through, I met her family, like her mom and all. They had like hut. They were selling like jewelries and stuff, and they were nice. They were not trying to sell anything to me. They was like, oh, you're doing good. Like, you've got a few more minutes to go. But I had at least an hour. And then when I went up, and yeah, it was all beautiful. She stopped. She just joined her family. And then after a few days, I went to the desert in Wadi Rum. Then this guy, I showed him, one of the local guys, I showed him the video and I was like, what was she talking about? And he was laughing. He was like, oh my God, she's so cute. She's trying to sell her mom's jewelry to you.
Aww.
And I was like, what? She's only 6 years old. And I didn't even understand what she was saying. And then I remember at that point, I was not painting. I took a break. I imagined how she would be as a grown woman. I'm like, she'll be such an amazing lady. And then when I started painting this series of women, And that's when I started. I painted her. And yeah, that's how I got my inspiration from.
Traveling by yourself is a very empowering move, I have to agree with you. But there's a lot of, talk relating to traveling alone. Is it safe? Are you going to be okay? What if there's an emergency?
Yeah.
There's so... And I think when we first reached out to you, you mentioned that you are a bit of an introvert.
Yes, I am.
So does that traveling alone stem from that, or is it something that you find comfort in?
I do. I think it's both. I'm very comfortable in my own shoes. I can just go out by myself, do things on my own. I think it's easier to meet people. New people when you're alone. I try to stay in dormitories, so I could meet people. So I don't go for tours. The first few nights, or usually 1-2 nights, I've already planned it. And after that, I won't book any hotels. Okay. I'll go there, and then, because when you meet people, your plans change. They'll give you insights like, oh, you could actually go here, and this place is much better for you to stay. So I just planned the first few days.
This is such a boss woman move to just pack up and go complete somewhere you've never been. And, with like a 2-day plan and the rest up to fate. We have to talk about, you have a full-time bachelor's degree in psychology. And now you also have your current full-time job. And on top of that, you're doing your painting as well. So with balancing, multiple things on your plate, how do you make sure that you're not, completely robbing one from the other?
Time is a constraint. I'm still working on it. There are times when I'm like, after work, straight to the studio all day, all night, and then I have to tell myself, no, I need a balance. Like some of my friends would be like, let's catch up. I'll be like, no, I'll be in my studio.
Were there instances or incidences that you considered turning painting into your full-time job?
Yes. That's like
how did it work out?
I think I need to get myself out there to be known. So that takes time. I'm trying to market myself on Instagram and stuff, and I need to get into galleries. And to get into galleries, I need a collection of paintings. So, and it's taking a long time because I'm juggling my full-time job and I take in commissions as well. So that stops me from painting and creating my collection.
Moving on, I want to ask you, we live in a day and age whereby everybody's hustling, right? And it's always about what brings food to the table and what is going to be practical. There's all these noises. And then there's also the part whereby now we are talking about honing your self-expression, things that we are passionate about, feel about. For me and Priya, it's this. And for you, your craft is something that fuels you. But what exactly is a problem that people are facing, and that's the reason why they no longer continue this of honing their self-expression? They let it go and they let it pass. What's your take on that?
You need to let go. You need an outlet. You need to express yourself, and like you girls, you're doing podcasts, it's a way to express yourself. And for me, it's art. And for some people, it's probably journaling or drama. I feel that you need an outlet.
What would you consider as your proudest painting thus far, or your most favorite painting thus far?
That's a very difficult question, because every time I paint, I'm like, oh, this is my new favorite. And then I'll turn around and look at the rest of the paintings. I'm like, no, I still like you. So it's very difficult. But proudest, it will be one of my elephant paintings where I painted it with resin and crushed glass. I was just trying it out, and I had to work in the basement because you need to let it dry for 72 hours. So I was really proud of what I created.
And I want to tell you something now. I can testify to that painting of yours because Sarla, if I'm not wrong, she borrowed that painting from you, am I right?
There was a few paintings, yes.
Yeah, and I remember this was one of it because we were shooting at that time for one of the drama series.
Right.
And this painting of hers was right smack when somebody enters your house and it's a landed property. And the beauty that painting brought, because the entire house was plain, there was nothing in that house, And when we hanged it up, we were all so happy with how it looked and how it elevated the house. But I remember Sarla going there and be she used to tell our producer and be this painting cannot drop. I cannot afford to pay my friend this matter. So like
when it's her favorite painting also.
Yes.
I think Malini would have killed you.
yeah. So like I do remember, because not only did it look so beautiful, but like it really elevated the whole place and everything. So I
Thank
just
you.
want you to know that I can totally understand why it's in your favorite painting. It was so pretty and so good.
Thank you.
But speaking of that, like how do you rate like your family and friends in your life that have like supported you thus far? Like who are these people that you would want to like maybe mention or highlight?
They've been amazing. Like when I first started, the ones who bought my paintings were my friends and family. Like and there was my cousins, my best friend, who was like, I'm gonna commission you a painting, but I don't want discounts. If you're gonna give me a discount, I'm not gonna buy it from you. My housemate, she's like my cheerleader. She's always like marketing for me. And many people, my family, my friends, they'll try to introduce me to someone.
We did notice that you have your own online page where you put up your artwork for purchasers. So with that said, as an artist, when your works get purchased, how does that make you feel? Or how important is that to you?
I tend to have like a attachment to my painting. So when it goes to its home, I do feel like, I don't want to let it go. But at the same time, I know if someone's going to buy it, they must really love it. If it's a commission, it's different. I know when I've started painting it, the moment I start, I know that it's going to someone else. Right. So there's not much of an attachment. But if it's a painting that I paint and I've been like keeping it for some time, then I feel sad. At the same time, I'm really happy. Like there's one painting I painted of a lion and there's a butterfly on its nose. That painting got sold the same day. And when that happened, I was like, oh my God, like I'm not ready to, like I need to have you around for a while. But I was really happy because I know the person who bought it like really loved it. He was so patient with me with delivering and everything.
I feel like she secretly checks like whoever buys a painting. Like,
Do
better make sure you keep it well.
Is it still there? Like, do you wipe it regularly?
But I can imagine something that has so many hours of hard work and the sheer beauty of her paintings.
Yes.
Even I would be like, are you keeping it well?
Yeah. Cleaning it every 5 seconds.
Shiny.
Now that we are approaching nearly the end, I need to ask you this. Could you share with us a piece of advice that you want to give to aspiring artists who are looking into monetizing their works but are still like struggling for that art piece to like appeal to masses? Because like you say, most of us like start off with like our family and friends.
Yes.
And it takes a lot of time and hard work for it to reach out to a lot of people, right? So what is your advice if you can give these people something to walk away with?
I would say just go out there. Make it your part-time job. Like just go out there and like for artists, we wear different hats. You have to deliver it, you have to work on your website, packing. But the point is like if you really want something, you should you don't have to know everything in one day. You learn it as it goes, one day at a time. Just do it.
If someone asked you what's next for you, what would that be?
What's next is my goal to be a full-time artist and to have an exhibition someday, my own solo exhibition.
If there's any like socials that you want to leave people with so that they can find your painting or reach out to you, you can go ahead to share them.
Okay, my Instagram handle will be malini.paintings and my website is malinipaintings.com.
So there you go, everybody. Reach out to her, buy her paintings.
That's right. Thank you so much, Malini.
Thank you for having me today.
And alas, Priyanka, we've come to the end of the episode. Each time, it's a pain. I mean, you guys now know why it's a pain because I have to stop talking, which I'm not a fan of doing, clearly. But I'm ready for the quote of the month.
Okay, here's the quote of the month. The secret to self-confidence isn't to stop caring about what people think. It's to start caring about what you think. It's to make your opinion of you more important than anyone else.
Beautifully said. And very true, in fact, I think. Confidence is the key to honing self-expression. To be confident, you have to care about you more than anybody else, because you have to believe you're good. Because only if you feel like you're good, you will feel like, okay, yeah, it's worth it for me to go out there and share whatever it is that I do.
And I feel like the word self-expression carries the word self. And that itself is always a reminder to us to like focus on yourself. And with that said, I want to say...
What a writer.
Stop it.
Go on.
With that said, I want to say that doesn't mean that, even when you're a confident person, you cannot lie to yourself that there are going to be moments that you're going to be intimidated, because the truth is, as much as you're a good speaker, there is going to be inevitably somebody who you think will be better than you. As much as I feel like I'm a good writer, there's going to be somebody who I admire with all my heart. To me, I'll always think that I can never write like them. But it's like what Priya says, at the end of the day, these are the very things that should inspire you to work on yourself. How do you become better at what you do is always, like, I feel it's an everyday problem that you have to keep solving in order to hone your self-expression. And with that, we would like to bring this episode to a complete end.
for this month. Because I need to talk for the next month, Anyway, thank you guys for joining us. We hope you had a good time. We clearly did. Maybe too much of a good time. But yeah, we'll catch you soon, very soon, next month, with a new guest and a new cup of tea. It has been Priya
and Priyanka
on Sit Still, Look Pretty, because girl, you're more than a quick gaze.